So, off to do a little rescue mission for my mother. She left her keys. But I wanted to also let people know that this is the reality of having your own business. Want to see something not so funny, but here, hold on. Hopefully you can see that. That was from a hubcap flying across the 5 while I was in Los Angeles. And here's another little reality. It's December. That shit is late. And guess what? It was either $800 for my health insurance or $500 and something to re-register my car. I chose health insurance. So again, not everything is as rosy as it seems, but still, my dream is still more important than my reality at the moment. So there you go. So this is yet another day in the life of being an entrepreneur and starting our own business. What we portray on social media and the sort of facade, if you will, that we have to put on, not necessarily disingenuously, but just in order to feel or be compelling, or to be interesting to the point where people are willing to give up their money in order to come hear you speak or to teach or whatever else. It's something that I struggle with on a daily basis. As much as I would love to, sort of already be on, if you will, like a lot of my, I hate to call them competitors. They're not competitors. We might all be in the same space, but we're all, I think, simply just trying to do some good for, people that often don't get the luxury of having someone in their corner, or being appreciated, or being, or having someone really understand the struggles that they go through, which is another reason why I decided to start vlogging, for a couple of reasons. One, for those entrepreneurs out there, or the people who have always sort of had an idea but like let it collect dust or whatever else. I think it's super important to just go for it. It's funny how life works. I always used to tell people, or at least one of my favorite phrases was, the universe never gives you more than you can handle, otherwise you'd be dead. And I honestly believe that. I believe that we're given challenges and we're given obstacles in order to get over and around on purpose. They're to help prepare us for what we ultimately want. And the goal is to really put in the work and to go through the struggle and to learn from the failures and to really just get it done. That's really what it comes down to. The best advice I ever received as an entrepreneur is put something out, anything. Because if it's in your head, no one's hearing it but you. And it's true. When I pulled together the first version of Mega Assistant University, I was drinking champagne that day. I had a couple of glasses of champagne. I was feeling kind of right. And I decided, you know what? I'm kind of sick of working for the person that I'm working for. And I was making excuses and, making him out to be the bad guy when he's the one that gave me the job. It was more that I was unhappy with the fact that I had let my dream sort of sit on a shelf, and was living in a way, or having to do a job that I really just had no desire to do anymore. So I decided to make the leap, and I created some curriculum that I felt was relevant and maybe a little revolutionary, if you will, and truthful. And I threw up a class on LinkedIn. Next thing you know, it sold out. I only wanted 14 people. I love small groups, and I got my 14. And we had, I think, a pretty amazing day. It was transformative for me because it actually opened the door to the business that I now have. And I believe it gave a voice and an opportunity for several really good assistants to come together and feel like they had some sort of community, like they had a voice and that people were actually interested in what they had to say. And because of that, I put up another class, and it didn't sell out, but people came, and class after class after class, and here I am 10, 11 months later, and I have what could be considered a following, but what it is that people who are just as passionate as I am about this role, and wanting to see it understood and acknowledged and actually compensated how it should be compensated. We all come together and we have a damn good time. We have, a gloves off cabal, if you will, and we talk about everything. And we're open and we're honest and we share. And we talk about our struggles. We talk about the harassment that we deal with. We talk about, bosses asking us to do illegal shit. We talk about how we can be better. We hold each other accountable. The ones that are lazy and collecting a check, we call them out. And I believe that's unfortunately what we have to do these days. Is we've got to start calling out bad behavior and calling out laggards and really having honest, open dialogue around what we're going through, where we want to go, and then trying to figure out how to get there. And that's where I come in. When I teach my class, I have some insight, and I've always been able to sort of craft some sort of game plan in my 25 plus year career as an executive assistant in the C-suite, of first of all getting there, and then second keeping my job, and then third continuing to push the envelope and continuing to make strides in an industry where I should not be a factor, be honest. So kind of rounding it back to what I'm dealing with these days is, I'm happy to say, happy or embarrassed or however you want to look at it, I'm living with my parents. I gave up my beautiful apartment, I sold all of my furniture, and I moved home. And it's been a blessing for them. It's been a blessing for me because I haven't had the expense, that I couldn't even afford the expense, even if I wanted to, and expensive out of San Francisco. But I've had the opportunity to kind of have a home base that allows me to center and to put together the most kick-ass curriculum that I can to, blow up LinkedIn, trying to get people to come to my classes, and really still just feel human in a world that's moving really, really fast, and also feeling like my life is completely turned upside down in an effort to follow my dream. So, sorry, I'm rambling. I really want people to understand that, yes, it takes sacrifice, and yes, it's hard, and yes, you have, freaking breaks in your window from a flying hubcap that you can't afford to repair because your Cobra costs you almost $900 a month, and you actually need your Cobra. You're running around riding dirty, if you will, on late registration because guess what? Your Cobra eats up $900 a month that you have to somehow make in order just to cover your health insurance. So when we have these debates in the country about health insurance and, everyone gets pulled up in the groundswell of the vitriol of, we're losing our health care. Oh, we're doing this, that, and the other. This is real. And without my health care, I'll die. I'll leave it at that. None of your business for all the specifics, but that's just the way it is. So I really want people to understand that not only is it difficult to be an entrepreneur, it takes tremendous sacrifice. It takes a massive ego check. I always pay my insurance and my registration, and I could normally get this fixed, simply by taking a job. But I don't want a job. I want a career, and I want to do something that I know gives back to a community that's given me so much over the past 25 years, and I plan to do that. And all the ensuing struggle and hardships and inconveniences and all that, I know for a fact it'll be worth it. In the end, it'll be worth it. and therefore it's easy for me to just deal with it. It's been hard, I won't lie. Ooh, no tears. That's weird. No crying. We don't cry. It's hard, but I know it's going to be rewarding, and I can't wait for that day. Whew. Okay, well, that's it for now, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Can you believe this shit?